the 1960s, scientists attempted to teach dolphins English. However, the experiments were cut short when one of the scientists, Margaret, was caught having sex with a dolphin named Peter. She even claimed that Peter initiated it, and after she left, he killed himself.
So according to her, when they got separated by circumstances, you're a wacko. That's probably the only circumstance. Peter was left devastated. What does a devastated dolphin look like? He refused to breathe, sank to the bottom of his tank, and widely claimed to be an act of suicide. So Margaret Me Too'd this dolphin. This has to be the only dolphin Me Too story. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Me Too, just him only, because there was nobody before it, so it couldn't be a two. It'd be a me this only time. Hashtag. That's a long hashtag. Margaret and Peter first met in a bizarre NASA-funded experiment designed to teach dolphins to understand and potentially even mimic human speech. Well, let's get to when she had sex with him. To live, sleep, wash, eat, and play together as they attempted to teach the dolphin how to speak through his blowhole. However, between the dolphin and his human handler, the things became much more complicated than anyone could have predicted. Doesn't it always? His own vet described Peter as falling madly in love with Margaret. Okay, so the vet's a psycho too. I like how they're putting this on the animal so far. By week 4 of the experiment, Peter had started to become sexually aroused around her and would be flirtatious, nibbling at her and rubbing against her legs. Peter the dolphin got some game. He's like, yo, Margie, yo, Margaret, Margie, baby, let me come nibble on those legs. See, maybe Margaret was that hard up for some sex that maybe Peter was just thinking he saw some food or something on her leg. Be like, yo, can I get some of that? But she's like, I think this dolphin's into me. And as Peter's urges became more and more lusty, the young researcher decided to start pleasuring the dolphin in a bid to keep him focused. Yeah, that'll keep you focused. So are dolphins like that? They'd be like, yo, Mrs. Margaret, I'm having a hard time learning English. Can you help me get focused, if you know what I mean? She denied this was sexual for her, but acknowledges it was for him, and instead describes the experience as sensuous. You're masturbating a dolphin? Margaret, however, did admit she formed a deep emotional bond with Peter. Then it's sexual for you. This is not a medical practice. Like if I went to my doctor and she said, or he said, no judgment, I need to do this to get you focused, I'd be like, I think you're taking advantage of me and I think you're getting something out of this. Or why not just bring in another dolphin? She's got big dolphin boobies. Come in, get Peter focused. Why do you have to do it? Let's continue on. The relationship of having to be together sort of turned into really enjoying being together and wanting to be together and missing him when he wasn't there, she told a BBC documentary in 2014. Yo, lady, stop raping the dolphin and acting like you don't want to. It was just easier to incorporate that and let it happen. It was very precious. It was very gentle. Ew. I mean, this is such an old story. I can't believe I'm talking about it, but somebody sent it to me. Peter was, however, utterly smitten with Margaret, and he would get jealous if she spoke to other humans and even lost interest in 2 other female dolphins. I'm sure female dolphins are like, how can they compete with the hand of a human? Be like, I don't even have that. It's different. He wanted strange. He was sick of dolphin vag. He took to sleeping just next to her, suspended in bed. The two would watch TV, and he even started to form some human sounds, in particular the word ball. Of course he did. Yo, Margie, shut off the TV and touch my ball. If you're watching TV with a dolphin, you're insane. I mean, like, at what point did you say, I think we need to get a new dolphin because I shouldn't be falling in love with it? I mean, how far did you get Peter along in the English speaking that you couldn't turn back? Peter was shipped away from Margaret, being taken 1,000 miles away to Dr. Lily's other, much smaller lab in Florida. The seemingly heartbroken dolphin had died in an apparent act of suicide. He was kept in cramped conditions without his lover. I got this call from John Lilly. John called me himself, tell me. He said Peter had committed suicide. The lab's vet, Andy Williamson, even attributed his death to a broken heart. He was ripped away from Margaret. I can't believe this is real. These are doctors. You're supposed to be like the smart people, and you're really like going along with this raping of a dolphin, and you think he committed suicide? I think there's something up with Dr. Lilly. Maybe he liked Margaret, Dr. Lilly, and killed Peter for banging her first. Scientists are split over whether dolphins have the mental capacity to participate in suicide. You think? I think the real story is somebody caught Margaret jacking off a dolphin, and then I think Margaret put a hit on Peter, sunk to the bottom of the ocean because he didn't want to live anymore. Get the hell out of here. Margaret is a creep. Margaret's a creep.